Good morning, Digit fam. Adam Dowd here, coming at you from my hotel room. Remote recording studio as far as the IRS is concerned. I have packed the wife and kids off to go play at the water park while I hit the ground running with all the tech news you need to know. So let's get to it. It is July 30th, 2019, and this is your Digit Daily. We just talked about the Equifax breach, which, granted, happened back in 2017, but only now is just getting resolved. Now let's add Capital One to the mix. Capital One is a banking company here in the U.S. and abroad, although I admittedly don't follow the banking leaderboards as regularly as I should. Capital One announced in a press release yesterday that a breach actually occurred on July 19th, which is a refreshingly fast turnaround, and yes, I'm looking at you, Equifax. What's more, they already have a suspect in custody, 33-year-old Paige Thompson of Seattle, Washington, and it's nice to know that women are breaking through the glass ceiling of crime as well. Thompson is a former Amazon Cloud Service employee, and she was found not by tracing the data breach, but because of the things she posted on social media sites and Slack that were reported to authorities, which goes to show, kids, committing crimes is bad, but telling other people about your crimes is stupid. So what did Thompson get? And for the record, we're going to use the term allegedly here and keep things as gender neutral as possible because of the whole innocent until proven guilty thing. So what did the attacker get? Names, addresses, zip codes, phone numbers, dates of birth, self-reported income, credit scores, credit limits, and basically a DIY identity theft kit from about 100 million people or so. Well, at least they didn't get social security numbers though, right? Well, the attacker also got 140,000 social security numbers, 80,000 bank account numbers, and the social insurance numbers from around 1 million Canadian customers. Take that, you socialized insurance snowflakes. Capital One doesn't think the data was shared based on the evidence that it and the FBI have gathered. It was Thompson allegedly trying to unload the data that got her nabbed in the first place, also allegedly. As for the vulnerability the attacker exploited, fixed, and now we deal with the fallout. In a statement, Richard Fairbanks, CEO of Capital One, said in what for some reason I imagine is a nice southern drawl, "While I'm grateful that the perpetrator has been caught, I'm deeply sorry for what has happened. I sincerely apologize for the understandable worry this incident must be causing those affected, and I am committed to making it right." As for making it right, Capital One said they'd provide free credit monitoring and identity protection to everyone affected. And speaking of which, Capital One will be reaching out to the affected individuals shortly, so that's about 100 million stamps that the post office will be selling. So that's nice. As for me, I don't have a Capital One card, but my wife does. Fingers crossed she'll still be my wife by the time this all settles down. So without further ado, let's head into the roundup! The Google Pixel 4 is going to scan your face Apple style. In what is becoming more and more common for Google, we got an official leak for the Pixel 4 that will feature Face Unlock and do away with the fingerprint sensor. Personally, not a fan. Face Unlock is fine, but I vastly prefer the fingerprint sensor. Of course, at this point, under-screen fingerprint sensors suck too, so I guess it's a potato-potato thing. There's no good solution, so let's go with what Apple's doing, which is admittedly a fairly smart business model. And how is Google training its Face ID algorithms? By hitting the streets and paying people $5 for their face. No, seriously, Google is asking people for selfies in return for a $5 Starbucks or Amazon gift card. They're calling it field research because that sounds a lot better than creepy selfie gathering. But now I have to wonder if they're taking these selfies with Pixel 4s and maybe just nobody's noticed so far. It makes you wonder. And while we're riding on the leak train, Samsung leaked its own smartphone plans as well when it released support pages for the Samsung Galaxy Note Plus. Oh, Note Plus, you say? What's interesting is that this will be the first Galaxy Note with different variants since the Note 4, and back then the only variant was the Note Edge. Hat tip to the Twitter user who, I can't remember, sorry, for reminding me of that. Sorry, bro. We've also heard reports of a possible smaller Note variant, not called the Galaxy S10, so we'll see if that shakes out as well. It's almost here, folks. And in the latest case of, what the hell? A man tried to check a rocket launcher onto an airplane in his luggage. Now, granted, it wasn't his checked package, so that's slightly better than carry-on. These are the same people that won't let you take on more than 4 ounces of baby formula on a transatlantic flight, though. The rocket launcher was not live, thankfully. The man said it was a souvenir from his time in Kuwait as a contractor. Now, the man is from Texas, so that actually kind of explains a lot. But all the same, the rocket launcher has been disposed of. Next time, just FedEx it, dude. This podcast not sponsored by FedEx. According to Reuters, Amazon is looking at launching a food delivery service in India. So the good news is, delivered Indian food, yummy! The bad news is, it's only in India. Now, I know for a fact that we have some listeners over there, so have some sod ghost for me, my brothers. I'll have to get it from a local restaurant in the meantime. Naan, yummy. And now I'm hungry. I'm not too happy about this headline, which reads, "Soon you'll be able to watch PBS on YouTube," which is technically true, but there are a lot of caveats here. First, it's YouTube TV, not YouTube. Second, you'll have to subscribe to YouTube TV, so it won't be free. Perhaps it's remarkable that PBS will be offered by a TV streaming service, but that headline really oversells things. Frankly, I'm kind of surprised that PBS isn't on YouTube already. I mean, they're missing out on potential donors and YouTube revenue. And finally, we haven't talked about Reddit in a while, and Scott picked up a good one today. And by the way, great job filling in for Tristan for the past 3 days, Scott. Taxi drivers of Reddit, has anyone ever jumped into your cab and yelled, "Follow that car!" And if so, what happened? The resulting thread is probably equal parts fantasy and reality, but there are some fun stories in there regardless. Give it a look, link in the show notes, when you have a few minutes to spare. So that is going to do it for today's Digit Daily. If you'd like to learn more about any of these stories, check out the links in the show notes and subscribe to our daily newsletter on Digit.com. And if you like what you heard, subscribe, leave a review, and don't forget to tell your friends about DigitDailyPod.com. Once again, I'm Adam Dowd, Dead Technology on Twitter, and we'll talk again tomorrow.